predictions. Obviously, want to thank Blake for coming on. Do you want to talk about the Tigers season,
We can real quick
or do
if
you
you want
want
to sum it
we share in tears together? I
up.
don't.
Yeah, it was as I was at the home opener. I got to
Mhm.
see Bobby hit it off the wall. That was obviously thrilling. Great way to start it. My first opening day, all that. It was super exciting.
Back when I thought the Tigers were going to go 162-0.
Yeah, well, that's the first step.
Yeah, and that's the first
So
step.
no,
Win that first game.
it's always good to beat the White Sox, and
Hmm.
then yeah, I would have to count how many pitchers we went through. Willie Peralta went down,
And
Pineda
he
went
and then he
down.
ended up choosing free agency. He elected free agency after we designated him for assignment.
Yeah, Mize went down, Scuba went down, Manning went down. Like the whole pitching
Yeah,
rotation.
Joey Wentz went down for a minute there when he was like pitching well, and then we're like,
Yeah,
oh, and then Bo Brisky, like, God,
I do have to say I am seeing some light in the bullpen. I think there are some people there that are, I think Lang has shown, Foley's shown. Um, I think Soto is getting better. And the
I
bullpen's
actually
in
don't
good
want
shape.
Soto on this roster next year. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know he had 30 saves. I'm I'm tired. Like I feel like we always get stuck with like a Todd Jones, Jose Valverde, Gregory Soto type of guy that has to load the bases first before finishing the game, and I just don't need that kind of stress in my life.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to see they have a couple because I thought the
Fernando
bullpens.
Rodney, yeah,
Yeah, I
those
thought
guys.
the bullpen starting. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be ugly the whole year. We don't have a bullpen. Any guy we're putting back there is Fulmer, and Fulmer's gonna be the guy we're going to. And
And Chafin was hurt at the beginning of the year. I don't
yeah,
think I don't think Chafin's. I'm not sure if he wants to be on the roster. I know he signed a 1 year deal, but I don't know if he's going to want to come back or not.
yeah, I think he would have been a more of a trade piece at the deadline if
I really thought he was. I thought Soto was going to go too. I'm like, why are you trying to hold these guys? I know for a fact there were teams that would have taken Soto, even if it wasn't to be a closer role. A setup person would have been big.
well, yeah, he's an electric left-handed pitcher. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't find those every day.
And instead, we get rid of Robbie Grossman and Michael Fulmer.
Yeah, well, I'm not sad to see those guys. At this point,
That's true because I actually didn't think we'd get anything for Grossman. There was a while there I was like, you might just have to DFA Grossman.
yeah,
So I'm glad we
it was
did.
it was ugly. Yeah,
It was fun to watch Matthew Boyd throw 3 scoreless innings against us too with the Mariners.
yeah, I felt
Couldn't
everything
hold.
in there.
Do we get Spencer Turnbull back next year? That might
I
be something.
know that's a guy that's missing his electric stuff too. He throws it down the middle, and it just seems
I
to
think
be.
he'll be 31 or 32 next year, though. I know it's probably may not be like there's Verlanders out there still killing it, but I don't know if Turnbull I consider to be Verlander, closer to maybe like a Jeremy Bonderman. So we'll see. I don't. I do want to have Wood Turnbull back. There's there's a lot to be hopeful for this year with the Tigers. Like on paper, I was drinking the Tigers Kool-Aid for a while. Like you expect Akil Badu to build off from what he did last year, and he was
Yeah.
horrendous.
Mhm.
The fact that we had to keep Cody Clemens up as long as we did when he's hitting 140 on the year, that was I didn't care for that. I know it's fun to like try to give these guys opportunities, giving Ryan Kreidler opportunities and stuff, but I don't know if I consider Kreidler to be a future piece based on what I've seen. Definitely a more reliable fielder than Baez. Um, Kerry Carpenter. I don't know. Do we expect to see him back next year?
I
Uh,
think he's kind of a Brennan Bosch situation. Caught lightning
yeah,
in a bottle. Scouting reports get out, and he can't hit. They start.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Brendan Bosch is probably a really good comparison. Both left-handed power hitters, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I hope that it was fun to watch him just rake though. Like I think he hit 30 home runs or whatever in the minors
yeah.
this year. So that was cool. And I think we brought up, was it Lester we had up for like a game or two? And I think he only ended up going like over 2 or over 3. But he also hit like 25 plus home runs this year in the minors. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of young guys that like I'm glad we got opportunities to see what they have. But like Joey Wentz, for the most part, I actually didn't mind what I saw from Joey Wentz as a left-handed arm.
Yeah,
I like Joey Wentz over Tyler Alexander, if that says something.
Yeah, I
Garrett
think
Garrett
Tyler
Hill.
Alexander's still long relief guy.
I don't know if Wentz can do that either, but we saw Garrett Hill out of long relief this year too. He basically was our Willie Peralta when he got DFA'd. Um,
Tucker Barnhart was horrendous.
that might be one of the biggest disappointments. I mean, he wasn't terribly expensive, thankfully, but like he's a career 245, 250 hitter, and I think he struggled to hit 205.
Yeah,
And no, I think broke 10 RBIs in September.
yeah, that's where I know Haas is inconsistent, but when he gets hot, he gets really hot.
Yeah, he's second. He's second on the team in home runs this year with 14, and we know that he hit 20 the year before. So, and I think he still hit 260. And there's other guys that like didn't play very often, and they actually had pretty decent averages, like the Harold Castros of the world, the Victor Reyeses. You know,
Yeah, I think Victor Reyes, he looked better this year. He can't ever stay healthy, but
hmm
he showed more power.
hmm He's a
Seemed to,
big guy. He really should have power.
yeah,
He's a tall guy.
I'm trying to, but I don't know where the Castros even fit in the picture for the future. Honestly, I don't.
At least I think Willie goes somewhere else, and he probably ends up being some 265 hitter with
He's
16
probably
home runs somewhere. But
going to be another Eugenio Suarez, leaves
I
the
don't think he's
team.
gonna hit 45. I think at least Suarez showed signs of pop, but like I
Yeah,
don't. Willie Castro really doesn't have that. Harold Castro showed signs of pop for like did he hit like 4 home runs in like 2 or 3 games for a minute there?
yeah. I just feel like they're kind of filling guys. We just have them there because they're cheap, and we need somebody to plug that position for now.
And Harold Castro could play anywhere. I mean, he pretty much got acclimated to first base this
Yeah,
year, but Jonathan Scope and Jamer Candelario, are we done seeing them in a Tigers uniform? The thing that worries me is I seriously think Jamer Candelario is going to go like the Rays and he's going to hit 30 home runs.
yeah. No, I think he's another one that he showed signs. Yeah, Scope. Yeah, that was another frustrating.
Scope had a great year fielding, though. I think he's probably a potential gold glove for second base.
Yeah, but we didn't pay him for his glove. We paid him for.
Yeah, being a power hitting second baseman. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I love, being able to turn double plays and being a consistent guy there, it's
I don't know. I sat and looked at that roster at the beginning of the year, and I had so much confidence. I think I had them finish second, if not third, in the division, and they're pretty far off third place despite their hot finish. So
yeah,
I really thought they were going to hit 100 losses before they went on their streak. So I thought they were going to finish with like 101. So it worked out. They didn't. This is actually their second best record in like the last 5 years or 5 or 6 years. So that's pretty sad. But
yeah.
um,
We'll see. What are your thoughts on the new rules? The bases getting bigger next year, the shift getting kind
I
of reined
I'm
in.
I actually love that. I'm done. I'm so over the shift.
Yeah,
Like
I,
I don't the like Ted Williams probably hit 400 plus on a regular basis because you don't have to worry about the shift. And if you could just go oppo, Ted Williams went oppo all the time. Like there's a reason like these guys like have like skewed stats. Ty Cobb hit 400. We'll never see that stuff again now with the shift. I don't know. The pitching clock is huge. Um,
yeah. Did you watch a minor league game this year?
I I did last year, but didn't they have it? Didn't they have a pitch clock last year?
I don't know if they enforced it as much, but I went to the Whitecaps a couple times this year, and it felt like, man, this game's over by 8:30. It's not started at 6:30. It's over by 8:30. You can be home by well after
It,
9.
it was interesting to watch. Someone posted on Twitter. Um, I follow a lot of baseball stuff on Twitter and like stat analysis, and someone posted on Twitter that the average MLB game was like 3 hours and 18 minutes, and the average AAA game was like 2 hours and 41 minutes. So that's a whole difference of like 35 minutes
Yeah,
from AAA. And AAA was the longest of all the minor leagues because you go down to AA and it went from 241 to like 230, 233. And then I think, single A was like 229. So it was less than 2.5 hours. It's like And that's an average. That's an average. So there were games that were being done in 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see. Not that I
The
feel.
MLB is always going to have those commercial breaks I got to get in, right? So
Yeah, no, I
media
know.
timeout. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
The seventh inning stretch is just going to be a little bit longer.
yeah. I just wonder if somebody's broken down the bigger bases. Are we going to see more stolen bases because it's going to give us that much more, that much closer?
I think so, but there's like a lot of people are talking about like the reason people steal less now is it's not worth like the injury risk that comes with it too. Like the risk reward is not great. I mean, the last time we saw a team play small ball was pretty much the Royals when they won the World Series
Yeah,
because they had a bunch of guys that were just hitting like 285, and then they stole a lot of bases, ran the bases really well. Teams don't play that way, at least in today's baseball. It doesn't seem that far removed from the Royals, though. I hope that does happen, though. I think that's an exciting part of baseball. I know that was one of the few things I was good at. I remember your dad always made me steal whenever I got on base. Seldom got on base, but when I did, I'm running.
yeah. I know. I'd like to see. Well, I feel like a lot of them slide head first now.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody slides feet first anymore. Why? Because obviously it's safer to slide feet first. So what are we?
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to always do the swim move? Not Javi Baez isn't always over there trying to tag it.
Yeah, I just the risk of getting clear. I don't like that. It feels like I tried to slide head first, and it wasn't smooth. It wasn't a fun
No,
time for me.
I
I felt good about sliding feet first, and I think they have protection now, like up the wazoo. They wear those long sleeve gloves when they're on base, and I think that's fine. There's got to be a way to try to circumnavigate around keeping players safe too. I don't, but that seems like it was just a lot of things I heard from the announcers this year, whether it was like the Saturday game of the week on Fox or even Bally Sports. Like a lot of announcers were saying the risk of injury is greater than it's really been in a long time in on stolen bases. Or and I'm like, okay, when did that happen? Ricky Henderson didn't have any issues with this. No one's ever going to break
mean,
Ricky's. No one's going to break Ricky's record. That's untouchable. We talk about untouchable records. That's Ricky's. But yeah, I don't know. I like the rule changes though. I think it's going to add to the excitement because I think hopefully people will steal more, and I think it always adds an extra thing for pitchers to think about, and then they have to worry about a pitch clock on top of that. There's things that change the game of baseball. I think next year.
yeah, I don't think it's anything that's terribly bad either. I'm kind of interested to see how they'll enforce the shift rule though. Do they have to stand behind a certain line until it crosses the plate? And
I heard they at least have to be in the dirt though. I don't think infielders can be in the grass. I
okay,
think
I didn't know if because I think they were talking about drawing a line down the middle behind second base, so that you couldn't be on a certain side of the line.
Yeah, because if it gets too complex, then it does drag out the speed of the game again.
I
If
know,
if you got to tell players to adjust and be like, no, you can't be like that, then there has to be a set way to enforce it. And if they violate it, what's the punishment? I didn't hear anything on that either. So
yeah, I just wonder too. All the dimensions are different for all baseball fields, but the dirt's got to be different for all baseball fields too. Some of it's got to be deeper, some of it's got to be a little. Not that that's a huge deal, but trying to systematize it, it's probably never really going to happen.
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for next year, not only because that just means that'll be the next time the Tigers get to play again, but I think it's fun to like watch new things happen. The only rule changes that like made the game less exciting, and it's for selfish reasons because obviously it protects the players. But when I thought about the NFL and the whole, you can like or college football, you can like waive fair catch at like the 10-yard line, and you can just start right at the 20 for protection of the players. I'm like, okay, it's fine, but kickoff returns are exciting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if change is good in some circumstances, and I think baseball, they have to get a little bit desperate because they are losing that younger clientele. So
yeah. Well, Miguel hit 3,000 this year. Pujols got 700. Judge hit 62.
Almost triple crown.
Exactly. So definitely, it's getting a lot more news than it had probably since 2020 when it was probably the only sport going on.
Mike Trout and Shohei have to go to a different team. Like they would be so much better not playing at 10 o'clock every night, you know?
I know. I was just glad the Tigers were finishing up in Seattle and we could actually watch it because I thought Sunday's game was the last game I was going to watch. I didn't realize they were actually going to play games that were earlier than 10 p.m.
Well,
Eastern.
yeah, like nine. I think they had somewhere 9:05 starts or whatever. So that was I can at least watch the first like 5 or 6 innings on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming on this episode. But it was great to get your thoughts, and I'll definitely look forward to hearing back from you come March, April to preview 2023. But I just again want to remind any listeners to check out Blake and the Buskard Group for all real estate needs. Blake, do you have anything to add about the real estate market right now?
Real estate market's interesting right now. Definitely in West Michigan, we're seeing a lot less inventory and higher rates. But does that mean you can't refinance in a year or two when rates come down? It's still a whole lot cheaper than renting. So
Do you think there are going to be people? You're going to be people without that are going to be foreclosed on because they can't afford some of the extra bid ups that they just went too big in?
No, we're still seeing record equity within homes just because of the appreciation. And if for some reason somebody did have that problem, they can still usually sell it with it from under and be fine. We haven't had a decrease in home prices or anything like that where values have gone down where people are underwater. So
Yeah, that's I was waiting. I'm like, maybe I can buy 3 houses pretty soon and just have all my just Airbnb everything.
everybody would love that, but we still have all the millennials that want houses. So
All right, well then I'll just have to suck it up and just go find a house in the next couple of years. I have squeaky floors, so I may be seeing you soon. Squeaky floors aren't fun with babies. So
yeah.
all right, man. Well, appreciate you coming on. We will see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Joel.
All right. Take care.